I'm sitting here right now, currently. I just paused it real quick. I'm watching $1 million worth of game. And it's Gilly, Wallow, and Shaq, you know what I'm talking about? And, I like a lot, I resonate with Wallow a lot. Because, mentality wise and, with what he been through and, where he going in life and things like that. And I was just thinking about his growth individually, right? Wallow. Like he really made himself like rich overnight. He became a success story overnight, Wallow. And I understand the mind frame that it took for him to get where he got as quickly as he did. Outside of the people around him and things like that, the support was where it needed to be as well. But outside of that, I was just thinking about him as an individual. That man lost 20 years of his life to this system. You feel me? In a logic sense, for the crime to fit the punishment, it didn't, But despite all that, and he lost 20 years of his life to the system. So when he came home, every single day was vital. And it was the mindset of, I just lost 20 years of my life. I have no time to waste. And I have a negative stigma toward the older generation. I do, for a lot of for all the right reasons. But individual OGs like Wallow, because there's not too many OGs out here. Period. But for an OG like Wallow to make the comeback that he did from the mistake that he made and from the consequences that he had to shoot back from, his bounce back game was so crazy because the fallback was so great. So his bounce back had to be twice as hard. And in a year's time, he one of the most influential people on the internet right now. For people that are into, real influencers and things like that. People that really motivate other people out here. Gilly and Wallow do their thing together. Absolutely. That duo, that dynamic that they got is great. But Wallow and himself, yo, that ambition, that drive to do it and get it done and push it how he did, like, that's inspiring to me. You know what I mean? That just keep me motivated to keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm motivated, you know what I mean? I go twice as hard, I just don't have that support, you know what I mean? But outside of that drive and that motivation, like, people call me impatient. People have a habit of deeming me to be impatient. But that kind of rhetoric is usually coming from people who believe that you have to wait on things in life. And this is the majority of people in the world. This is the majority of people in any town, in any city. You know what I mean? A lot of people believe that we're supposed to be waiting on things. That something is supposed to be, that you're supposed to be because we got to understand what waiting is. Waiting is standing still. That's what waiting is. Waiting is putting in no effort to get what you're trying to get for yourself, but waiting on an outside force to deliver it to you. That's what waiting is. And I, for one, don't wait on anything. So perception is a very powerful thing. For a person who perceives ambition to be moving too fast, or motivation or drive to be for someone to try to convince you to slow down are people that you don't want to be around. That's just it. People that are trying to convince you that you are moving too fast. Like, there's a difference between living in the fast lane and knowing what you're trying to do, knowing what you need to be done, and trying to implement it as quickly as possible. You understand? Those are two different things. You feel me? We're not talking about, moving aimlessly through the world and not thinking before every movement. We're talking about the game of life. We're talking about chess. Chess, you think before you move, period. And for, people such as myself, my brain is moving quicker than most people. And my body wants to move just as quick as my brain is moving. But, outside of, naysayers and things like that, the system itself is hindering, is restricting, the system itself will try to influence you that you have to wait on something. That we, as a people, are waiting on permission, waiting on things to be given to us, waiting on things to be approved. When no, you are coming for what you are coming for, and anything in your way, no matter what it deems itself to be, authoritative, official, whatever the case may be, anything that is trying to tell you that no, you can't have this, or you have to wait before you can have this, is not your friend. Period. It's not. Those entities are not trying to help you. Those beings are not looking to see you win as an individual. They want you to have what they want you to have when they want you to have it. And more than likely, how the natural order is set up. If somebody is giving you something, 9 times out of 10, they have enough to give you. So in other words, you're giving powerless people power. And the way the world has been set up for the last couple thousand years, power does not want to share. You feel what I'm saying? Power is not giving. Power is not open and willing and welcoming, and power doesn't want you to have. Power is trying to convince you that you can't have the same things that I can have. You see what you see how the God that we claim is so for us is actually the biggest enemy to our lives. The same God that you thank, or you give all the credit to, the same entity that no one fucking sees. The same entity that you give all this credit to is the same entity that is telling you can't have things, telling you that, that is causing havoc and chaos and destruction on this planet. So, God, people use and abuse God just as much as anything else. People, blame God for the good fortune, but you don't seem to blame God for the bad fortune. I don't really understand that. But this is just some thoughts that I had to get on film real quick. Regular shit. But I'm gonna continue to watch my podcast. Y'all enjoy yourselves this morning.